One year after the latest coup in Thailand, where do you think the country is heading?
Well, Thailand, I think, at the moment is in the middle of a bit of an identity crisis, trying to work out what's the way forward politically. We've had a great deal of talk about a restoration of elections, possibly early in 2016. We have this new constitution that's out. There's been a great deal of debate generated around that constitution, although it hasn't been a particularly open debate because it's been difficult for people really to get hold of the text and to gather together to discuss it. But I'd say that Thailand at the moment is facing a lot of choices in terms of where it goes politically, and the next few months are going to be extremely important in terms of the decisions that are going to be taken. Is this new constitution really actually what people want? Is it going to have the legitimacy that's needed for the constitution to really take effect and have some kind of lasting impact? Or do people have so many questions and concerns about the constitution that actually it's really not fit for purpose at the moment? It's not going to be something that people as a whole could sign up to.
Do you have any specific proposal to suggest? And if you do, to whom?
I think the constitution drafting committee and the government at the moment may want to think very carefully about how to proceed with this constitution. There are a lot of questions that are coming out about it. If there's no referendum on the constitution, it's going to lack legitimacy because it's a constitution that's been drawn up by a military regime. So there's a problem right there. If you do have a referendum, as was the case after the coup in 2006 when we had the 2007 constitution and referendum, it doesn't necessarily really guarantee the legitimacy of the constitution because people still feel that the referendum came from a military grouping. So I would say if there really isn't popular consensus around this draft, it might be necessary to think again. One way forward would be to take a previous constitution, such as the 1997 constitution, which still has quite a lot of acceptance as a so-called people's constitution, and maybe run with that for a while before trying to work out a way to revamp the system. I'm not sure how the government ought to proceed, but it doesn't seem that there's a widespread consensus around this new constitution draft.
What is the most important argument you plan to make in your presentation?
I would say that if people think that the 2015 coup draft is just like the 2007 draft, that it's an attempt to create essentially an anti-Thaksin charter and stop pro-Thaksin parties from coming back, there might be something in that, but I don't think that's a really complete explanation. If you look closely at the text of the new draft constitution, what you see is an awful lot of reference to morality and the importance of virtue and a central role being played to the empowerment of people. And I think the crucial question is, what exactly do the coup drafters and what exactly do the NCPO, the military rulers of Thailand now, mean when they talk about the people? That's the question I'm going to explore.